Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on when you are watching or listening to this. I'm Dr. Jacob Lauritzen, and you're listening to my draft pages. In this episode of the show, I'm going to talk about motivation. I'm going to be talking about understanding yourself as a writer. I'm going to be talking about writing what you can finish as a result of me trying to figure out what I want to write about. Okay, so if you listen to the last episode, I presented a very bold plan of publishing like 3 books this year in 2025. And I apparently it's been a long week because that number might be going up. I might be going a little bit crazy. I don't know. So for Christmas, I had a bunch of boring stuff on my list. I don't know. I things to make my office more comfortable and fun and stuff like that. My wife's like, you need to put something fun on there. It's like, okay. So I put a Kindle. I put a Kindle Fire on there, and she got me the Kindle Fire, and so we've been really enjoying Kindle Unlimited, and I've been reading like crazy. It's been so fun, and I keep reading all these books about publishing, and they keep giving me ideas. The problem is, these ideas make my ideas bigger. And now I might be planning on doing more than 3 books in a year. We'll see. We'll see. So I just finished writing my Substack article for the week. It's also called "Write What You Can Finish." If you're watching the video, I have it up on the screen. I'm pointing at it. In this, I talk about a couple things that were going on this week that I've been thinking about. One is trying to figure out what I want to write about because I've been reading and getting ideas from these books from Kindle Unlimited. The other is I've been I've been trying to work on myself a little bit, and part of that is acknowledging that there's a reason why I have all these big ideas and I never finish them. And maybe you figured it out by now, but I have ADHD. The signs have been there my whole life. I was never diagnosed when I was young, and I think part of it is one, it was a very new term back in the 80s, but also everything that I'm even reading now, and I'm enjoying this book called ADHD is Awesome by Penn and Kim Holderness. They're fantastic, and it's a really fun book. But I've been learning that people are a little bit nervous to diagnose if it's not interfering with your life, and I've been able to function, and it hasn't ruined my schoolwork, and it hasn't stopped me from being able to hold a job or anything like that. So even now, even though the signs feel like plain as day to me, I don't know if someone would diagnose me with this, but it's plain as day. More and more I read about it. I'm that combination type of the hyperactive and inattentive, or those are the same ones. I forget. I have all this stuff. I have all this stuff. So it makes it really hard for me to finish a project because I get this idea and I have all this energy, all this hyperactivity, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go do the thing. And I'm excited. I plan it, and then the next day maybe I have another idea. I'm like, yeah, let's go do the new thing. And so I have tons and tons of ideas, and it makes it really hard to finish them. And I'm really trying to work on that. I'm trying to learn different strategies to be more successful and not just start things. So that's one thing that was going through my mind this week. The other is reading these books, and one was a Kindle book from Michelle Culp, Kulp, called "Write Your Way to 100K." And there's a lot of authors who are putting forth similar ideas, and the idea is this: a good way to kind of start your writing business and build that back catalog is to write this like 100-page book. The idea being people finish short books, right? And especially if you're trying to publish to say Kindle Unlimited or something like that, it's easy for someone to start it and to just run through it, kind of like what I've been doing. And so I've been thinking a lot about that. Now, what she did was crazy. And my ADHD brain wants to do it. um, she decided that the best way to start and launch her writing business was to write 12 books in 12 months. So, yeah, a book a month for a year. And at the publishing of this book I was looking at, it was about a year ago, I think, that she published it. She was starting her second year of doing that. But what she'd been able to do was build up enough passive income through her several books that she could write a book about digital retirement, because she made enough money to match her Social Security income, which she puts at like 3,000 something dollars. I'm hoping to make something, at least so I can learn what it takes to be a professional writer in today's environment. Yes, because making money is great, but also because I want to be able to teach my students. I want to be an example. I want to be able to tell them, these are the strategies, this is why, I've done it, and it works. That's what I want to be able to say. But the idea of tackling that many projects is that's a big idea. And I don't know that I'll be able to maintain the motivation to do that. What I've been kind of thinking is like, okay, let's start just by developing some good habits, you know? So my to-do app right now, it asks me 2 questions a day. 1, did you write today? Did you read today? That's it. I used to have like word counts in there and specific times and whatever, and I just cut that out. I stripped it down. Did you write today? Did you read today? And I've been doing pretty good with trying to develop those habits. And obviously this would require me to really expand that. Now, with these 100-page books, I keep saying 100-page books. These are not 50,000 word books that we're talking about. It's not like doing NaNoWriMo every single month forever. No, we're talking about a range of books that on her shortest was like 2,000 something words, which, I mean, that wouldn't take too long to write. And on the high end, maybe 18,000 words, which again is far short of, doing NaNoWriMo for 50,000 words. I think if I'm in the sweet spot of like 15 to 20,000 words, I think it's still pretty long, that it makes sense to publish both a paperback and an ebook, and I'd like to try recording audiobooks too. So it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work. Not everything might be released all at the same time. But what can I write in a month? So that brings up the next part of this whole situation. And again, I enjoy sharing what I'm working on, but this really is meant to be an object lesson for you, right? Me trying to figure out how to focus with my ADHD brain, me taking all this advice that I'm pulling in and what I'm doing with it, and maybe you're getting some ideas for what you can do, and maybe your idea is just like, dude's crazy. Why is he doing this? And you would be right, but who knows? Maybe we'll all be successful trying different strategies. Anyway, so as I was starting to think, what could I write in a month? And I've got a couple ideas. I talked about this red ink book, but every time I think about writing it, I just don't have the motivation. I'm really struggling to get started on it. I've making a lot of progress with my poetry book. I'm up to like 80 something pages now. I wrote a couple poems this week that I'm happy with, that are kind of rounding out the story that I want to tell. So I'm happy with that. But I know I want to include some stuff from March in this book, so it's not ready yet. It's not time. So I was trying to think, well, what's a book that I could try to write in like 4 weeks? And then I remembered a video that I saw on book launchers, and I tried to find this video. I couldn't find it, but on book launchers, and it's a great YouTube channel that she has. I forget her name, but it's a great YouTube channel. And she was talking about, if you're writing nonfiction, a lot of people write their nonfiction book to kind of establish themselves as an expert in a field. I'm an English professor. I'm very interested in filmmaking, and I've been training people at work about computers and AI, my doctorates in e-learning, educational technology. So like there's a part of me that's like, okay, I could do something that kind of extends my career. Maybe it gives me the opportunity to speak at conferences or something like that. Or, something I really enjoy on the side, like filmmaking or I don't know, right? I don't know. Because I'm everywhere. Because my ADHD brain, I'm saying that a lot, but it's helping me just become aware of how I think. Anyway, I have a lot of ideas for a lot of different projects, and I want to do them all. But I couldn't possibly do them all. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. And it's really hard for me to force the motivation when the energy isn't there. So I came up with an idea. For a book topic I could write about. Something that could be sort of on the short end, that I can knock out, that could be a good proof of concept. It's even a popular topic right now, and that is AI in education. Now, when ChatGPT launched as an English teacher, it immediately affected my job, and I started trying to look into what I could do about it. And then I got involved with some research and going to conferences and kind of being a voice on my campus. I've been able to give several trainings. We went to a statewide training that we gave, and I've been able to kind of dig into this, and yeah, it is something I've been working on, kind of being a voice on. And I have some ideas that I've been able to kind of develop over the past couple years. So I decided that this should probably be the book that I write. And then I started trying to think, okay, well, what would I put in that book? And so I'm trying to pull up a picture. And so I decided, well, okay, here's the title of the book that I'm working on. It's going to be called Co-Teaching with Robots, Being Human in the AI-Assisted Classroom. And I like to do things out of order. I get excited mocking up movie posters and book covers, and so I made a sample book cover. That's what I'm showing on the YouTube channel right now. And I've also posted it into the Substack article. I'm kind of holding myself accountable by putting it out there and showing it. This may not be the final book, but I'm kind of proud of it. I think it's kind of cool. Anyway, so I got an idea for this book, and I started to outline it, and I think I can knock this out in about 4 weeks. I think some of my strategies, I'm going to record myself like this and take some dictation and then kind of work it and polish some of the things I've been incorporating into lessons anyway. And then for the things that I haven't done that, I may just, do something similar or write it out. But I think I can get a book that's maybe just over 100 pages. I've got about 14 chapters kind of figured out right now. And so, 8 or so pages each chapter, I think we can make this work. So if that's the case, by the end of February, I may have this book done. And so what I'm going to do here on the channel, I'm going to update each week what's going on, what I've been working on, what's working, what is not working, how I'm trying to work through things, and of course, as always, what I've been reading and what I've been learning along the way, because I think that's helpful. But I also think this is a really big test of my ability to focus on a big project. Now, it's not that I haven't been able to accomplish big projects before. I've made movies and I've written screenplays and I completed, degrees at school. And so I've done this before, but especially when it comes to my creative work, it comes and goes so quickly. One of the things that's really helped me is using Notion. I'll talk about having a second brain in another episode, I'm sure. But using Notion as an app to track out my ideas makes it really easy to store an idea when it comes and then come back to it when I'm ready for it. It's really helped me to keep things organized. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been mocking everything up in outlining in Notion and starting to write it as of last night in Microsoft Word. So that's if this felt all over the place, then you can understand why. That was me thinking about a couple different ideas that I'm working on. I'm gonna try and write this. So let's give myself a benchmark. If 12,000 is the minimum, and I need to write this in 4 weeks, let's say I need to get 3,000 words done this week. That doesn't sound too crazy, right? 3,000 words in a week. So, all right. Thanks for listening. Let's check in next week and see if I'm able to keep it up. Enough about me. I want to hear what you're working on. If you can message Substack. You can message me. You can comment in the YouTube channel below. But let me know what you're working on. What are the things you're struggling with? How do you motivate yourself? How do you keep yourself on task? How do you make the magic happen? So I'm excited to hear from you, what you've been up to, and I'll report back in a week. If you haven't subscribed to the Substack, please do it. Jacob Lauritzen, JACOB, You can also see the archive of my my articles at jacoblauritzen.com. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Good luck writing. Bye.